Alrighty then, man. Alright. Shenanigans style even. Shut up, freaking. Nobody wants to hear your crap today, sir. I should stay away from it for now. It's Kurt. A different Kurt. Hi, are you going to school today too? School style. I'm too cool for school, sir. You guessed it. You're Harrison and Hannah's son, aren't you? I'm Reen. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I'm Kurt. Kurt style. Now we can go into buildings. Hannah. Oh, hello there. You're from the nearby dormitory, aren't you? Has everything settled down for you now? Everything seemed pretty chaotic for all of you until last week or so. It really has. Thanks again for your help. Sorry that we were only able to visit with you briefly when we first moved in, too. Oh my, how polite of you. But really, it's fine. No need to worry. Just remember that you always have a neighbor you can count on. And it's not State Farm. Likewise. Nobody's up here. And we have no reflection. I mean, no reflection sucks. Pisses me off to no end. Mixed Pawn Shop. Oh, of course, this is the guy who they based the Mict character off in the Carnelia books in the Sky Games. So, little fun fact for you. One of the red ones, huh? Well, whatever. Ask if you want something. Aren't shopkeepers supposed to be friendly? Would think. Student, huh? Well, take a look around. It's Limp Bizkit fucking up your town. So basically you can trade things for other things, if you want to do that. Cura Bomb. A healing salve prepared by the Seppian Church restores 2500 HP. Gotta appreciate that. EP charge 2, a capsule filled with orbital energy restores 300 EP. One of those. We don't have enough reviving bombs to get that. Round bait. Basically, a lot of these are like better versions of accessories. And then quartzes, but they usually take like higher level stuff that you don't have yet. I was once told that free days were set up as a means of helping students to become more independent. So try not to let this go to waste. I'm sure your parents would be upset if you did such a thing. Guessing they would. And then it would make them reach for the belt. Boutique Sage. Nice dressing room she got here, man. Phoebe. Hey, can you do me a favor? Me? Well, if I can help, sure. I'm having some underwear trouble. Could you compare these to the pair I'm wearing? I want to know which ones are cuter. You... What? Take it easy. I'm just joking around. What's with this girl? Ew. Julia, welcome to the Trista branch of Lesage. Our store features an assortment of the fashions you'd find in our main branch in Heimdall, as well as goods for students. If you ever feel your wardrobe needs a little refreshing, stop by and we'll find something just for you. Oh. Border print t-shirt. A t-shirt with a border print design made of light material. White blouse. A refreshing white blouse. Sunny sandals. Light sandals featuring bright yellow as an accent color. Okay. You'll be that way, sir. A little jerk stain. Pink high heels. A pair of cute pink high heels popular with women. But not men, apparently. They're just, you know, they're not allowed and such. Silver chain. A chain-stitched bracelet blessed with the power of Adios. Defensive by 10 and prevents poison. Coral bracelet. A flamboyant bracelet set with numerous small corals. Strengthened by 5 prevents seal. Marble bracelet. A luxurious bracelet set with marble. Art strengthened by 5 prevents mute. Always fun. Luminous glasses. Special glasses that allow the wearer to see even at night. Accuracy up by 50% prevents blind. Gotta appreciate that. Defense up by 20, art defense up by 35, and evasion up by 5%. Sunny sandals. Defense up by 10, speed up by 1, and evasion up by 5%. Nothing wrong with that. Prevent seal. Put one of those on. Sure, why not? You got some shenanigans. It's pretty awesome. Most of the new students come in to buy stationery from us this time of year. It's always fun to show them around since they seem like they're having a good time. April's always a good month. April! Brandon's General Goods. How you doing? Melinda. The food here is so fresh. I love it. It's nice and cheap too. Saves me money to use on clothes. I definitely recommend this place to students like you. Oh. Hugo! Huh. Stock here isn't bad, considering how small the town is. Everything is quite a bit cheaper at our shop, though, due to our consistently priced bulk buying strategies. Strategies, even. It's Brandon. Yo, you're that first year working with the student council, aren't you? Maybe. Who's asking, sir? You jerk. They're always helping us Trista folks out, which means you probably will too. Nice to meet you in that case. Nice to meet you, even. Sweet cookie! A homemade cookie that's a little rough around the edges. For 700 HP and cures poison. Silver earring. A silver earring blessed with the power of the goddess Adios. I think that's what we got here, isn't it? Oh, it's like lesser version. These just prevent the statuses without any stat boost. Coral ring, a ring decorated with beautiful deep water coral. Marble ring, an eye-catching ring with a beautiful marble effect. White glasses, glasses that glow faintly, allowing you to see in the dark. And a proxy puppet. Revives on KO with 10% HP once, but breaks afterward. That's a shame. A damn shame. Public shaming. Trista Station. There's no need to go into the train station right now. This seems very defensive about letting the player go into a station. Unless you have to for the plot. That's pretty much the way it works. Trista radio station. Monk. Radio Trista will be debuting a new program tonight. Is it the 5:30 Club? I can hardly wait. What could it be about? My heart's racing just imagining the possibilities. Da 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 da, Trista radio station. It's Lala. What kind of name is Lala? That's more of a sound effect, isn't it? Welcome to Radio Trista. We have a variety of radio programs to match any listener's needs. Please take the time to tune in if you have an Orbital radio. On air. The 5:30 Club is on the air. Such. Here's their soundboard. Ursh's Cafe and Dolly. Sarah really needs to calm down with all the drinking. Just the other day, she got really drunk and started complaining to me like John about all sorts of different things. Mostly about how she can't handle the vice principal. How she's worried she'll never find the right man for herself. That's too bad. That's a shame. A damn shame. Public shaming. Even listening to her tired me out. Old Man Abbott and Costello. Another year of excited students happily interacting with those who live here. It's a familiar sight here in Trista, but a comforting one. It's Right Said Fred! Would you look at that? One of the new recruits. How'd you like a nice meal? Got some good stuff on our menu, and we'll make it fast. Order whatever your little heart desires. Oh, and by the way, if you see a free table, go ahead and use it to study. Study, even. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Everybody likes to study. Roasted coffee. That's about as gross as it gets. Highly fragrant coffee for the discerning adult. For 1600 HP, cures sleep and nightmare. And crispy pizza. There you go. Crispy mixed pizza topped with fragrant, mild burn cheese. Restores 1200 HP and restores 15 CP. CP Jones, even. Anybody up here? Do-do-do. Nice cozy little in-room here. Do-do-do-do-do. Not really special here, just kind of like nice, but you know, pretty standard affair. Na 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 na. What? Nobody in the little park area. There's Machias. I was surprised to find that in spite of its quaint size, this town has all the shops one could possibly want. This cafe has a rather pleasant atmosphere, too. Seems like the perfect environment for studying. Yeah, it certainly feels like a town built around the academy. You know, the Academy of Modern Arts, even. I have to hand it to you, though. You're really dedicated to your studies. Just doing what's expected of a student. You should try to make a habit of preparing for classes in advance, and then reviewing new material afterward. Seems like a smart idea. Maybe this would be a good chance to get to know him a little better. Spend time with Maki, yes. Mind if I joined you? Not at all. I was just thinking of taking a break myself. Break style, even. Everybody likes breaks. Do-do-do-do-do. Go ahead and order something. Order, even. Green ordered a drink and proceeded to join Machias on his break. Break even. Break even as well. Sip even. You can tell this cafe uses some high-quality beans for its coffee. There's a rich flavor behind the initial bitterness, and the fragrance is utterly fantastic. Fantastico! I take it you're pretty knowledgeable when it comes to coffee, then. Huh. Mainly due to my dad. He's been drinking it as long as I can remember. Thanks to him, I started drinking it while I was studying, which gradually gave me a taste for it. Ah, that explains it. This actually makes me curious about the kind of person Governor Regnance is. Speaking of which, is that tea I see you drinking? It is. I'm way more used to tea than I am coffee. The tea here is nice and relaxing, too. Not sure I'll ever understand the appeal. That's how I feel about coffee, so... Doesn't help that I always associate it with nobles. In fact, I saw one particularly irritating noble arrogantly sipping away at a cup the other day. That couldn't be anyone other than Eustace. How do you sip arrogantly? Unknown. Sorry, I didn't mean to rant. He went on a tangent! I didn't mean to sound like I was judging you or anything. I mean, you're not even a noble. Huh. Don't worry about it. Well, why don't you give it a try, though? You might actually end up liking it. I guess I could. You should try some of my coffee, too, then. Coffee style. Each poured some of their drinks into the other's cup from their respective pots. You were right. This isn't so bad. Huh. Glad to hear it. I might actually consider having some coffee next time I'm really studying. Huh. Keeps you sharp between the ears. Why don't the two of us study here sometime, then? Sounds like a plan. Study, even. And thus the two finished their drinks and chatted together for a while longer. Your bond with Maki is strengthened. Shotgun style. You know, a cup of tea sounds pretty good right now. Next time we should come here and study together. Naturally. The lino flowers are gradually starting to wilt and die. Still a certain beauty to them, but they're a symbol of springtime. It's always sad to see them go. Such is the passing of seasons, though. Isn't it, though? Again, you will never get to go inside of here, but it's just one of those things. You'll never get to do it. Very sad. King's Bookstore. Have you heard of Red Moon Rose? It's a pretty popular novel these days. As a matter of fact, I happen to have the first chapter of it right here. Why not give it a read? So this is the series of books that you need to get the ultimate weapon for this game, so make sure you collect all of them. Most of them are pretty heavily time-based. Are you sure I can just have it? Think of it as thanks for helping the student council with their work. And besides, giving you a free book makes you more likely to buy one from us in the future, right? Sure. Thanks. Next time I need a book, you'll be the first to know. Welcome, we've got the newest issue of the Imperial Chronicle in stock now. You should give it a read if you're curious about what's going on all over the country. In fact, I recommend keeping up to date by grabbing each issue as they come in. The book says "Woo Baby" on it, fun fact. Da-da-da. Red Moon Rose. Chapter 1, The Red Moon. Our story begins in Erebonia during the Middle Ages, some 200 years ago. The War of the Lions had concluded in western Zamoria, and Emperor Dracos, a driving force behind its resolution, had been deceased for over a decade. Imperial capital Heimdall was a beautiful traditional city with rows of cheerful red brick buildings that had earned it the nickname the Vermilion Capital. In one back alley of the city, however, a solemn mood reigned. Soldiers in military uniforms paced up and down while a crowd of onlookers gathered to see what was going on. They clung to the edges of the scene, refusing to disperse no matter how many times they were asked. What a jerks. At the center of the commotion lay a young woman. Her skin was shockingly pale, as if not a drop of blood ran through her veins. On her neck, 2 dark red spots stood out in stark contrast to the pallid flesh. Seeing this, a middle-aged soldier let out a loud sigh and took out his pocket watch. It was just after 6. He gave a curt order to his subordinates to find out who she was, and the woman's body was swiftly carried away from the curious stares of the gawkers. After watching her safely borne away, he noticed a young soldier following the woman with his eyes as well. Alphonse! Al's my father's name. He tapped the young man on his shoulder. It wasn't a streamer, and certainly was not a guy in a suit, though. The soldier started seeming to realize that he was still on duty. Sorry, Gerard. Somewhat flustered, Alphonse adjusted his beret, because apparently he's French, then hung his head apologetically. Though snapped from his reverie, it was clear that he still had something on his mind. I believe I've told you before to address me as Sir while on duty. I'm your commanding officer, after all, Gerard said jokingly. With a fond pat on the shoulder, Gerard reminded him to stay focused and then left to give orders to the rest of his subordinates. Alphonse quickly returned to his post, silently grateful for Gerard's characteristically thoughtful gesture. Watching this exchange was another young soldier the same age as Alphonse. Scowling unpleasantly, he gave an audible tut style even. The girl's untimely demise, though shocking, was but one in a series of grisly murders that were the talk of the town. Most of the victims were young women who had been out at night. They had all but met their ends through loss of blood. Or, put another way, the victims had died after having all of the blood drained from their bodies. Furthermore, all of the bodies which had been found had something else in common. Each had bite marks on their neck, as if they had been pierced by incredibly sharp fangs. It didn't take long for word of this to start to spread among the people of Heimdall, and all who heard the rumors were quick to think of one of the many ancient legends which existed in Erebonia, specifically the legend that described immortal monstrous creatures which roamed the land at night, feeding on the blood of humans. It was these very legends that eventually became the inspiration for the mass killing's new moniker, the Vampire Murders. Dun dun dun! That night, after his duties were complete, Alphonse made his way to a small tavern, tucked away in a corner of the capital by the name of Allegria, not to be confused with the almighty Allegra Clark of legend, to enjoy a late evening meal. As he sat down to his dinner, a pretty girl near his own age, with a glossy chestnut ponytail, studied him with obvious concern. So how is it, Alfie? Is it nice? I hope so. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. The girl Luca had been Alphonse's friend since his arrival in Heimdall, about 10 years before. A shy, nervous smile tugged at her lips as she continued to watch him. Alphonse felt a hot blush creep up his neck under her intense gaze, but he forced himself to eat. The beef stew she had made had a simple yet comforting taste to it. Yeah, he assured her. It's really good. You've really gotten the hang of this. Luca relaxed at his words, and with a few quick self-conscious glances at the rest of the tavern customers, she seated herself opposite to him. Her courage seemed spent after this gesture, though, and they sat in an awkward silence for some time, until she managed a hesitant, "How's work going these days?" At the word work, Alphonse's hand, which was carrying food to his mouth, instantly came to a halt. Despite the so-called vampire murders going on for quite some time, they had been unable to find a single clue to the culprit behind it all. The corpse of the woman from that afternoon flashed across his mind's eye, and the pleasant flavor of the stew died on his tongue. So young. She must have had family, friends, perhaps even a partner, just like anyone else. She had her whole life ahead of her, and yet that life had been brought to a sudden end, just like so many others before her. What the criminal had done was unforgivable, but the reprehensible nature of the crimes wasn't the only reason that Alphonse was obsessed with this case. Though sadly for him, there was very little he could do to solve it now that he had been removed from the investigation team. That's a shame. Luca's soft voice brought him back from his thoughts. Alfie, just don't go overdoing it, okay? Her kind words made Alphonse realize how tense his expression must have become. Her concern embarrassed him. I'm fine, honestly, he said in what hoped was a reassuring voice. Alphonse was a member of a unit of the Imperial Army popularly known as the Gerard Team, which was responsible for maintaining law and order in Heimdall. That's a show. Gerard, the team's commanding officer, had long cared for Alphonse like a father, and it was his recommendation that led Alphonse to join the army and become a member of the team. Since then, he lived in a dormitory near the army's guardhouse. His meal at the tavern finished, he sketched Luca a quick goodbye and took his usual route back towards the dormitory. An eerie red-colored moon hung full in the sky, bathing the brick buildings in a bewitching carmine glow. Walking along, Alphonse couldn't help but notice that the number of people on the streets at night was much smaller of late. Considering the culprit behind the vampire murder still hadn't been found, that was hardly surprising, though. And yet, despite the fact that barely anyone dared to take to the streets, new victims kept appearing one after another, as if to mock the soldiers who patrolled in the dead of night to keep them safe. The sense of fear in the city increased by the day, and was a deep unease shared by all, even the soldiers. Silently, he swore to himself yet again that he would stop at nothing to catch whoever was responsible and bring them to justice. Suddenly, Alphonse stopped in his tracks, his troubled thoughts interrupted by the sight of an unaccompanied woman walking ahead of him. The deep shadows blanketing the path made it difficult to be certain, but she seemed unsteady on her feet. To his further surprise, she then turned and disappeared down an even darker back alley. Considering the ongoing vampire murders, it was hard to believe that anyone could be so careless. With a resolute air, Alphonse set about following the woman, determined to call out to her and try to prevent her from coming to any harm. He entered the back alley. Gloom obscured all but the sharpest of angles. He squinted, willing his eyes to adjust. The soft outline of a woman's back took shape in the depths of the alley. "Excuse me, miss. I'm not sure it's wise to be..." Alphonse forgot what he was going to say. Something was wrong. Slowly the woman turned to face him. Her head hung limply to the side, long hair masking her face. A hint of eyes could be seen through the wild locks, but they held no focus, no awareness. She opened her mouth and moaned. Horrified by the disturbing figure before him, Alphonse froze. In an instant she was on him, arms outstretched. She lunged and seized his neck in a crushing grip. Taken completely by surprise, he fell backwards, the weight of her pinning him down. Slowly, methodically, she began to squeeze. "Gah!" he croaked. How could that seemingly lifeless woman be capable of such unnatural strength? No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't pry her hands from around his windpipe. All his training, his youthful strength, none of it seemed to count for anything against these unyielding claws. Her fingers dug deeper still, and the already painful absence of air became indescribable agony. From his low vantage point, Alphonse was able to see more of the woman's face now. It swam in and out of view of his oxygen-starved brain, but her pale flesh was almost luminous against the darkness of the night. Her lips were chapped and colorless. As she squeezed, they began to part in a hungry leer, the edges splitting. Dinner. Although Alphonse could barely understand what was happening, his instincts knew exactly what the woman was about to do. He bucked and writhed desperately in her grip, but her hold was too great. Black began seeping into his vision. Even as he remembered the saber belted to his waist, he was too weak to draw it. The blank-eyed woman thrust her face eagerly towards his neck. Teeth bared and mouth yawning wide, Alphonse began to close his eyes. Death seemed his only choice. But just then, the world in his fading view exploded. And that concludes Chapter 1. Good times. Okay. Welcome. Have a look. We've got some solid books for students lined up here. You keeping up well in class, mate? I hope ye are, because you being students all about getting your head in the books. I cannot say much, though, because I'll be focusing on working instead, yes. Oh. Even. Imperial Chronicle Issue 1. Issue 1 Budget and Military Expansion Plans unveiled. How will both chambers react to the Chancellor's plans? Relaxation Through Music. A book about relaxing music. Legram Guidebook. A book for tourists, introducing good tourist spots in Legram. Touching Paintings. A book full of touching and moving paintings. So a lot of these books, like these three, will increase your link experience with certain characters, depending upon the subject matter. That's a fun little pile of crap. Relaxation Through Music. Glance through Relaxation Through Music. This book covers a variety of different musical styles. Chat with Elliot about some of these. 50 experience. It's always a fun time in the Mushroom Kingdom. The Graham Guidebook. Book has a lot of information on Legram. But give me something to talk to Laura about. 50 link experience. Good time. It's a good way to get some extra link experience. Touching Paintings. Wow, there are a ton of nice paintings in here. I should tell Gaius about this sometime. 50 link experience for Mr. Gaius. Good times. Of course, we can take a gander at the newspaper. Issue 1. Politics Annual Budget Announced. The government today held a press conference to reveal its annual budget to the nation. At the same time, new plans to expand the military were announced, including the strengthening of the armored divisions, reaffirming earlier statements made by Chancellor Osborne. With the neighboring Calvard Republic continuing to expand its own armed forces, it seems to be an appropriate reaction. in the duty of a great nation such as ours, staff writer. Reactions of the Imperial Diet. Both the House of Representatives and House of Peers met to debate the budget in Heimdall. The House of Representatives voted unanimously in favor of the budget and military expansion plan, but the House of Peers remained fiercely critical of both proposals throughout the debates. I pray that His Majesty decides in the best interest of this nation, House of Peers President. However, with His Majesty leaving decisions regarding the budget in the hands of the Chancellor, it seems unlikely that it will be overturned. Imperial Governor Regnant speaks. In response to an Imperial Chronicle reporter outside City Hall, Governor Regnant had this to say about the budget debate. The proposals may have my full approval. Much has been made of the military aspects, but taken as a whole, I feel the budget is remarkably well balanced. It seems apparent to me that His Excellency has a clear vision for how to proceed in modernizing this country. Governor Regnant. Society. The Imperial Transportation Act. It has been a year since the Imperial Transportation Act was enacted in Heimdall. The law was drafted with the expectation that the number of orbital cars in the city would continue to increase. But how have our dear readers reacted to the bill? We found that the majority seemed to be in favor of the new law, though some have argued that giving the cars of commoners equal regard to that of the nobility make little sense. City Hall PR representative who supported the law. The Imperial Government maintains that the law has been successful in reducing the number of motoring accidents and aims to eventually introduce it in the rest of the country. Culture. Keldic Grand Market. The eastern town of Keldic is best known for the Grand Market, which is held regularly throughout the year. This year's spring market is bustling as usual and has attracted a large number of tourists and merchants. But what is it that makes the market so lively? Because the town is located on a trade route that has long been vital to the nation. Is the opinion of Otto, the market manager. He believes that Keldic's position as an interchange station, where passengers can transfer from the Transcontinental Railroad to national lines, makes it easily accessible for visitors from both outside and inside the country. Whatever the reason, the market's popularity is showing no signs of letting up. Spotlight. Welcome to the RF store. Our goal is to deliver the latest Reinford Group products. We're your one-stop orbital technology shop. Fun times. What do we got going on over here? Man, the weather's perfect today. The fish are really going to be biting today. Looks like he's a student from one of the upper classes. Hey there, haven't met you yet. You got one of those red uniforms on, so I guess you're from Class 7. You guessed right, sir. You guessed right. That's right, my name's Reen Schwarzer. Schwarzy McSchwarzer, sir. Or something like that. Are you a first year too? Yep, I'm Kenneth Lakelord, Class 2. I'm part of the Imperial Fishing Club. It's really laid back. You'd like it. But yeah, pleasure's all mine. Likewise, he's pretty laid back himself, especially for a noble. I take it the Imperial Fishing Club's about fishing? You think? You catch on quick. Trista is supposed to be a great place for fishing. I hear there are a ton of different fish you can catch here. I'm just trying to figure out the right spot. Seems like you're having fun at least. Let's have some fun! You've done a bit of fishing in your time, haven't you? How about giving it another shot? Well, sure, but... how did you know that? Just a hunch. Well then, from one fisherman to another. Proceed fishing book. And of course they gotta have fishing. And beginner rod. Are you sure I can have these? I feel kinda bad just getting all this stuff for nothing. Don't even sweat it. The Imperial Fishing Club's here to spread the joy of fishing, so it's all good. Not quite the joy of painting, but it'll have to do for now. If you know what I'm talking about. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. You'll be starting off as a wide angler, but don't think too much about that. Just fish away to your heart's content. A what? Just ignore that for now. It's not all that important. Oh yeah, well, once you started landing some big catches, come back and talk to me. I'll trade you some cool prizes for your points. Prizes? Points? What's going on? Point style, even. Now that that's all explained, it's time for me to head off. I've got some fish to catch. Fish style, even. I'll be fishing at the pond on campus if you want to join me. That's that pond we saw earlier by the garden. I made him walk away faster. What? I'm still confused about some of the stuff he said, but oh well. Still, now that I have a rod, it wouldn't hurt to start fishing again. Let's see, the label says it's made by the Lake Lord Company. Of course, the same name as the best rod in SC. Imagine that. Wait a minute, isn't Lake Lord his last name? His family must be pretty famous then. And I'd assume pool experts on fishing. Fishing, even. John style. He was looking over there, right? Seemed like it could be a decent fishing spot. The pond he mentioned is available too, so maybe I'll give that a shot when I have the time. You can now view the fishing tab in your notebook. At fishing points, you can fish a set number of times. By catching fish, you'll earn angler points, and the amount you will get will depend on the variety and size of the fish you catch. Get fishing to earn more points. Talking to Kenneth will allow you to exchange your angler points for items. As your angler rank increases, you'll have more items available to trade for. So yeah, fishing's a little bit different in the later games. And then in Sky, it's similar, but it's a little bit different. And now we got the fishing notebook. Fishing. So there's 20 varieties of fish to catch. That's always a fun time. Bum, 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 bum. Fishing book, a notebook to record details of the fish you have caught. Beginner rod, a lightweight rod that lets you feel even the slightest tug, ideal for catching small fish. Small fish style, even. Alright. You can come over here and fish if you want. Use for bait. Let's fish. Hit. So basically, you just got to keep pushing the button that it says.
Not bad.
Swordtail. 1 down, 19 to go. Coughed up 30 water sapphire. And recovered CP by 5 because why not? That's pretty much how fishing goes in this game.
Bad.
Another sword tail. A 20 water sapphire. Sword tail. Everybody likes sword tail. Except for Newfie. Sword tail. Rarity D. A small fish known for its sharp, sword-like tail fin. Very aggressive by nature and will try to repel even the largest intruders from its territory. Popular in aquariums due to its beautiful color. You've caught it twice. So you can get either 10, 20, or 30 water sappets from it, depending on its size and such. That's a fun time in the Mushboom Kingdom. How you doing? It's Melissa! Melissa Etheridge. My husband's become completely unbearable. The only words out of his mouth when he comes home at night are bath, dinner, and sleep. What, has he convinced himself that I'm his personal maid? Uh-oh. They're having trouble in the bedroom, didn't you know? I bet he's sleeping on the couch tonight. Email. I should get this room cleaned up before dinner. Wouldn't want my home tutor to show up while it's still a mess. Where'd my chair go? Woo! It's over here. Annie's using it. Hey, I saw a weird guy at the river earlier. He had a bucket and a long stick and was just staring at the water. I wonder what he was doing. Oh! Weird guy style. Hopefully he wasn't getting interrupted by Nancy. That would suck. My sister's the receptionist at Thor's. Sounds like she's got a busy month ahead of her, says Rudy. Maybe hanging out with Kay will cure my boredom. I gotta annoy Tyzel some more today. That'll teach her to make fun of me. Not my fault I can't beat Luigi's adventure. I don't know how you're not bored of this yet. You get that she's just gonna tell you off again, don't you? But Sister Ernella, student from Thor's will be coming here to help us today. Oh yeah? It's not me, is it? Better not be. She apparently wishes to be a sister, too. I look forward to her arrival. Sister style. Around 50 years have passed since the Orbital Revolution took place. Our lives have become far more convenient now thanks to the invention of orbments. Oh. However, it is important that we remain humble, even now. One must never forget to be thankful for the life they've been given. Indeed. Don't want to take that for granted, sir. Don't do it, man. One parody when a Diet member deals with rumors of their personal orientation, when the parody finishes with some Melissa Etheridge. Lower class dorm. We can actually come in here now. You know. Well, of course you can't go up here. There's no reason to head past here. That's garbage. Oh, hello. If you're looking for someone, you're probably out of luck. Almost everyone's gone. It is our free day, after all. Can't let it go to waste hanging around in a dorm like a stooge. Like a freaking spaghetti bender. The upper-class dorm house is not only the upper-class students, but their personal servants as well. Those servants are all very capable. Are they now? Sarifa has always been amazing, and one of the new arrivals, Celestin, is especially talented. But I could learn something from practically every servant here. Servant style. Celestin! Welcome to the upper-class dormitory. As its name would imply, this is the dormitory for students in classes 1 and 2. I beg your pardon, but I cannot quite place your uniform. Ah, my apologies. The red uniform represents Class 7. Aha! I'm familiar with the name, but had not yet seen the uniform. Congratulations on your successful enrollment. Enrollment style, even. Are you here to visit one of our students? I would be more than happy to call for someone for you. Oh no, I was just stopping by. Haha, is that so? A member of the family I serve is also enrolled this year, much like yourself. It might not be my place to say, but I do hope that you get along with the upper-class students. I'd like that too. I was transferred here to keep a watchful eye on a member of the family I serve. Although my opportunities to interact with you and your classmates will be few and far between. I sincerely hope that you will get along swimmingly with the upper-class students. Swimmingly, even. I shouldn't go past her without a proper reason. Or a reason chocolate chew, even. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Doors Military Academy.